5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in June. Try any of their delicious breakfast burritos or sandwiches for a great summer breakfast with the family. And don't forget, 10% of all caramel latte sales in June go to the Casa for Lincoln County. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Welcome.
My bad.
That's all right. We just getting started. Welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons, on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Get Your Happy On Hour. Ow! I want y'all to know something. Ben has been on the job since 7:30 this morning, so we got to get through this hour so this guy can go home.
I'm here.
Hey, but you making it, though. You're a trooper. So I'm proud of you, man. That's a big deal. 7:30 till now? Wow. Well, we're going to get Ben
Ricky,
out of here.
I'm doing it specifically for you. I got you.
I appreciate that, Ben. That means the world to me. I got to give a big shout out to Matt Warner out there in Waverly, Nebraska. Empire Fencing Company, man, you guys do amazing work, and I really appreciate the fact that you support this show. So with that being said, keep doing big things, and we're watching you. You know, got a great show set up for tonight. And before we get into that, I got to make a statement. A lot of times in our society, we have issues that pertain to drug abuse, mental illness, mental health. And I'm real familiar with the drug abuse part of it, but I'm not that familiar with the mental health part. And tonight, I'm going to get educated, and I would like for you guys to get educated as well. And you can feel free to send a text or comment in because Ben is on top of his job over there.
I'm on it.
He's on it, so we good.
They will be read.
Only if they're positive messages or serious messages. We're not going to deal with none of that other stuff. But my guest tonight is Korina Cave. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ricky.
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, Korina, you guys are going to learn that this lady does a job that, in my personal opinion, in a lot of cases is a thankless job. They get really hardly no credit for all the good they do. But if there's anything that doesn't go well, then all of a sudden they get all the credit. They get all of the negative side effects or consequences of someone not following instructions. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, well, I'll say it like this. My guest is being very humble. I think she's been hanging around Ben too long.
Probably.
Yeah. See, Ben has that effect on people. When you hang around Ben, you automatically become humble. But I love humble people. So we're going to do our best tonight to educate you on some things that a lot of people don't want to give attention to until after the fact. My first question, where are you from, young lady?
Well, I was born in Fremont to a single mom. Then her and I moved from there to Bassett, Nebraska, which is a small little town up in north central Nebraska. Grew up there. And it was basically just my mom and I. I did have my older brother in my life for a while, but yeah, that's where I grew up.
Okay, so this town, Bassett?
Yeah.
Okay, how big is that place?
Oh, I think at the time I was there, it was probably around 600 people.
What?
Yeah.
That's a metropolis. So is that where you went to high school?
Yes.
Okay, now growing up in that small town like that, was there a lot of challenges, or did you not really see them?
Not a lot of challenges there besides, just being a small town. A lot of challenges were growing up with a mom who was also an alcoholic,
Gotcha.
and had some abuse type of stuff go on throughout.
Gotcha.
So that was the major issues during those times.
Okay, now when you got done with high school, was it like a real sense of urgency to get out of Bassett?
Yeah, I actually moved out of the house when I was 17,
Okay.
and I came to Lincoln for my first year.
Okay.
Thought I wanted to be a broadcaster.
Oh,
So I went to the university for a year and decided that wasn't for me.
gotcha. So what did you do after that? You just went into the working world, or?
Yeah, I took a little time off.
Okay.
And then kind of got myself back together a little bit. And then I went to Southeast and got my associate's degree in human services.
Gotcha.
Then I did a few jobs in some fields that I worked actually for like a treatment center for adolescents.
Okay.
Co-occurring. So they both had behavioral, emotional, and substance use issues. So I thought I would try that for a while, but that was very trying. So
Right,
I wanted
okay.
to do more of the therapy type of side. So then I went and got my bachelor's degree from the College of St. Mary's.
Okay. That's in Omaha, right?
Yeah, they did at one time have a satellite here in Lincoln.
Oh, okay,
So I attended
okay.
that one.
Okay.
Then I decided to get married and have 5 kids in 6 years.
Okay.
Got divorced, and through my divorce, I thought, what the heck, I'll go get my graduate degree and become a therapist.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, going through a pretty messy divorce and raising 5 kids by myself and working full time, and then putting grad school on top of that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm very proud of you for being able to withstand that, because that's a lot of people have not been able to progress under those conditions. I actually know one of your sons.
You do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I know Hunter's. He interviewed me.
You did.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job. And you telling me now he's about to finish med school?
He is, yes.
Wow.
He has about 11 months left, and he'll be a resident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That right there alone says that it can be done.
Absolutely.
You don't always have to have the perfect situation to be successful.
No.
And I want you to know, and I want to say it publicly, that I'm proud of you. and I'm proud of your kids because we talked before the show, and they're all finding their way in a productive way. So that's kind of rare. Yeah, with all the distractions that our youth have to deal with today. I'll put Ben in that category too, because he's doing amazing work too. And this guy I mean, he doesn't get the credit I think he deserves, but he shows up and he shows out whenever he needs to be and when he's called on. So Ben, big shout out to you.
Thank you, Ricky.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we're trying to get through this, Ben, because I know I see that look in your eyes. I know that
the look that I would want to be nowhere else, but this is exactly where I need to be right here. I don't want to be anywhere else, Ricky. That's the look. That's the look.
Okay, Ben, you know what? I don't have my boots on tonight, but I do have my feet off the floor, so I get it.
No, Ricky, this is where I want to be.
Okay, all right. Okay, if you say so, Ben, then I'm going to go with that.
Did we at
Korina,
least bring you food, Ben?
I'm going to get food after this. I'll be good.
I did offer it.
Okay.
I offered to bring food. He said he wasn't actually hungry, but he said he would be hungry after the show.
And update.
The hunger is setting in, huh?
It may be setting in.
Okay. Well, let's get on with this interview so we can get Ben something to eat. Korina, now, you went into being a therapist. And how many years you say you've been doing that?
I got my mental health license back in 2011. I've been doing that mental health piece for the last, 13, 14 years.
Wow.
And then I also am a licensed alcohol and drug therapist, and I've been doing that for approximately the last 8 years.
Well, that's interesting because my question about that is a lot of times when you're dealing with substance abuse, mental health is a part of that. And that's where I'm trying to learn myself because I know mental health is real. I just haven't been educated in mental health. So can you give us any examples of mental health or what signs to look for when it comes to mental health?
Sure. I mean, it's really different for everybody, but the very basic layman term of it would be if there's something in your life that you're not able to do, like your normal daily tasks. If there's something going on emotionally that affects how you live your day, how you live your life day by day.
Okay.
Kind of like addiction.
Right.
I always have learned and kind of said that addiction and mental health kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
It's kind of like the chicken before the egg, which comes first.
Right.
But with one, there's always the other. So with mental health, a lot of people, after a while, they use substances to deal with some of those feelings of anxiety or depression or just feeling overwhelmed, and they'll use those substances. But then there's sometimes where people who are just like exploring substances, but then in their brain they get that chemical addiction to it, and then the mental health comes along.
It's like it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong because I am not a mental health specialist, but sounds like it kind of compounds the problem, though.
Absolutely.
Am I in the right area? Because I mean, if you are dealing with substance abuse, this part I do know, it alters everything. And then, like the mental health, even if you don't have an addiction, drug addiction, I'm saying, then mental health can cause you to reach out for alcohol or drugs just to cope with day-to-day activities. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to say this. I think it's very important that people understand there is help available. And before I forget that, tell people how they can reach out to you. I'm just curious.
Well, sure. Right now, I'm kind of have my hands in a couple of cookie jars. I work full-time for the educational service unit in Fremont, Nebraska. And with that piece, we cover 17 rural school districts.
Okay.
In the northeastern Nebraska. And there's 17 of us therapists that work for the ESU. So we all are assigned different schools. and we go into the schools and we provide mental health therapy services to students that may not have, their family doesn't have the monies or the insurance or the ability to get them to outside therapy. So we'll just provide it there in the school for them.
So is that something they reach out to through the school system?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you've got a new venture you started.
I do. Yes.
You want to tell us about your new venture?
Yeah. Actually, I kind of wanted to start it about a year ago. A friend of mine that I used to work with, actually an old supervisor of mine, reached out and said, "Hey, I want a contract with you and get you licensed in Iowa because I have a contract with the Department of Corrections in Iowa to do evaluations." So I thought, gosh, do I really want to take this venture? Do I want to step into that and want to do that? So I did. And it kind of went really slow. But finally this March, I just was like, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to do this. Why wait?
Right.
So I did start my private practice. I opened up an office in Fremont, where my main focus, since I'm working with children in the schools, is to work with addicts that are adults within the system.
Okay. Now, working with, I was thinking, we were speaking earlier before the show about the public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing a large spike in numbers of our youth having drug and alcohol issues?
Unfortunately, yes. Within one of my school districts, I'm working with the school nurse to really she wanted to just look at vaping and tobacco products. So that's all we're really focusing on with now. But I've been working with the superintendent of this school to push it a little further and look at more of alcohol and drug use within the system.
I think that's important because,
absolutely,
because these, our youth, I don't ever want to discourage their creativity, but sometimes I think they're a little too creative for their own good, and this vaping thing, that seems like that's kind of taken on a whole life of its own. I don't really know I don't know all the side effects of vaping, but sounds like there's quite a bit that harm it can do.
Oh, absolutely. And what some youth don't understand is that, and I don't want to educate the youth really, but those vapes, they're not just for nicotine. There's vapes that they use for marijuana or methamphetamines or anything like that they can just put in the vape also. So I want to educate the parents that if your child's vaping, make sure you're really checking it out because it may not be just nicotine.
Parents, I hope y'all are listening because that's a very valuable piece of information. No offense before I say this because I know everyone loves their kids. I'm not advocating that you change that, but a lot of the kids, from what I've seen just from going around the country speaking, a lot of the kids are what I call geniuses. They're actually, they believe that they're smarter than their parents. I mean, that's just what I've seen. And when they take on this genius syndrome, I call it, they tend to put themselves in situations that they don't know they're putting themselves into.
Yeah.
And that to me is very, very important because normally it doesn't come to the light until after the fact, after the damage has been done. It almost takes a tragedy before anyone even recognizes it because the kids are very, very, very good at being discreet.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've seen your share of discreet kids. And let me give you guys another heads up. Am I correct, Korina, when I say this? It ain't always just the bad kids.
Oh, absolutely.
So it can be any kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jocks, geniuses.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that scares me because they got this thing called fentanyl. Now, I don't know much about fentanyl, but I know it's deadly.
Absolutely.
And just some of the examples. Well, one in particular that really got my undivided attention was they was disguising fentanyl in Skittles.
Yep.
So, I mean, I almost can't blame a kid if he thinks it's just candy.
Absolutely.
And then he takes it and it's after the fact. I think I was talking to you about a guest I had from my hometown. Her daughter passed away from fentanyl. I mean, I'm not wishing bad for anyone, but I just think these conversations need to be had.
Absolutely.
And by you working in this field and you're seeing it on a regular basis, how concerned are you?
I'm concerned that our youth, and this is a long-standing thing, is that youth just feel they are immortal, and that nothing's going to harm them. Unfortunately, fentanyl, and there's fentanyl out there, which is even worse than fentanyl. I mean, there's drugs out there that they're mixing with marijuana, even nicotine that can kill you. And
That's
it doesn't
scary.
matter where you get it from.
Yeah.
I mean,
And saying that's my thing. I just think that a lot of times where they're getting it from who they think are their friends, but they don't know where their friends are getting it from.
Right.
And that's where the breakdown comes, and then there comes a tragedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, man, that's a lot to take in. But look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Tickets to get you happy on hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first. That sounds like a match made in heaven. Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in June. Try any of their delicious breakfast burritos or sandwiches for a great summer breakfast with the family. And don't forget, 10% of all caramel latte sales in June go to the Casa for Lincoln County. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we are back. Ben!
Yo, what's up?
Man, we got anybody commenting over there, man?
Yeah, we got a few.
Okay, well, I want you to read them all to me. Let me hear what you got.
All right. Brett said, "What's good, big bruh? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Getting my happy on while writing my final essay."
Good job, Brett.
And then we had Marilyn Richardson that said, "Getting my happy on in Georgia."
Miss Richardson, you're doing big things down there in Georgia. Appreciate you.
Benjamin Hook sent a bunch of heart emojis.
Ben, you always support me, man. I appreciate you. I've never told you that, but I want you to know that.
And then Odious Wee said, interesting show, though, bro.
Big bro, when next time I see them pictures on Facebook with that smoker going, I'm going to knock your door down because I'm coming over and eat up everything in sight.
Nothing is going to stop you.
Nothing. And I'm going to bring Ben with me because he's hungry. Thank y'all for the comments, man. I like to have fun, as y'all already know, but it's in seriousness. I don't take anything for granted, so I appreciate you guys taking time out to check out the show. I'll get back to my guest. Now, I do have a question for you, and I want you to tell us what you're currently doing for, like, your full-time job. I know you got your private practice you started, but what do you do for a full-time job, and kind of what all does that entail?
Yeah, like I said, I work for the Educational Service Unit in Fremont, and with that, we cover 16 school districts. Within those 16 school districts, we offer them a contract for licensed mental health therapy services.
Okay.
And we can go in and we can either do individual therapy, or we can do group therapy, or we can do like a classroom psychoeducational work. We get our referrals from either parents that contact the school saying that, they're concerned about their child, or if there's a teacher that has a concern about a child and they've talked to the parent, then they'll contact the guidance counselor and then they'll make a referral to us. We actually have a place where we go directly into the schools a couple of days a week. And we meet as a team once weekly or once monthly, and we decide what kids are like higher priority to bring in for mental health services. And that's how we get our referrals. But we work directly with the kids in the schools during their school day, either, if they have any kind of mental health. I work a lot with trauma. I see I would say probably about 85-90% of my caseload within the schools is from some kind of trauma.
What's the age groups that you're working with here?
It can be from pre-K, so preschool to seniors. So
Wow.
12th grade.
Oh, you cover the whole.
Yep.
Wow. That tells me a lot right there, that there's a serious problem. And in your personal opinion, I know we don't have exact stats, but do you think the problem is getting worse, or does it seem to be growing, or is it going the other direction? I'm just curious, in your opinion.
Well, I think since we have moved towards schools accepting mental health within the school system, that we're addressing more of the issues quicker. I mean, we still have, I would say from when I started till now, I've been there this will be my 4th year. With over the years, my caseload has increased every year.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a bigger problem or if people are just becoming more aware and more educated that there's help out there. And so they're accessing it more.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think the fact that you guys are now, how many schools you say y'all?
We cover 16 within our ESU district, but then we also are contracting with a school outside of our district. So we have 17 schools that we cover.
That's a lot of schools.
Mm.
And it's how many of you guys again?
I think there's 17 of us right now.
Wow. So you guys are, you're stretched pretty thin there because each school's got multiple issues. So if each one of you took a school, you're still pretty stretched.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, then when do you have time to do your private practice?
I usually do that in the evenings or on Saturdays.
So let me get this straight. You're running in and out of your schools all week.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the weekends, you're doing private practice. And I saw something else you be doing. You be getting your workout on.
I try.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out how you're fitting all this in. As far as I know, you get the same 24 hours that everybody else gets.
I do.
And so you do a great juggling act, I'm assuming, because when you're dealing with those students, for example, there's no time limit on that. I mean, you can't say I'm gonna work with this kid for 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, you might have to go an hour. You might have to go 2 hours. And then you might have another kid that need assistance at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that sounds like, on the outside looking in, that sounds like a very stressful or could potentially be a stressful situation.
It can. It's a lot of coordinating with teachers and administrators because we try to set a schedule of people who are already referred to us. So we try to set a schedule that's best for the kids' schedule and the teacher's schedule and our schedule. So it's a lot of coordinating.
Yeah, kudos, hats off to you, because that sounds like a lot of work, but
I love it.
Yeah, well, and that probably helps because that was leading me to my next question. What made you even want to go into that field?
We might need another hour, Ben.
Don't do it to Ben.
Don't do it.
No, when I was little, like I said, I was raised by an alcoholic single mom. A lot of abuse within the family. Mom didn't really, I remember one message my mom always gave me was that you have to find a man. You have to find a man. And always thought that that's what fulfilled a woman's needs or, how a woman became successful. So, just seeing her and her relationships and then having my own weird abusive relationships throughout the years, I finally just, because actually, like I said, I came here to UNL my first year in communications. I wanted to be a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is that I remember my guidance counselor in high school saying, Korina, you are meant to be a psychologist. You should go into psychology.
Oh.
And I was like, that sounds really daunting. So then after my year here, is like, you might have a point.
Gotcha.
With all my experiences and then, just figuring out my own way. And I also have been in therapy myself throughout the years.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out myself.
Right.
It was my path. It was just my path.
I think it's important that people are honest with themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, sounds like to me, you've done a really good job of being honest with yourself, because in order to help someone else, you got to take a look at self first.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and this part I do know to be true, is a lot of times, especially with the drug and alcohol piece, when you're trying to help people make some changes, a lot of them are in what I call denial. And I'm not talking about the river in Egypt either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't want to take a look at themselves.
Right.
And when you start addressing their issues, it's much easier to ask you questions that would discredit you. Like, have you ever been in trouble? Or have you ever been to jail? Have you ever did drugs?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been in this situation? And to me, I think that's unfair to people that do what you do and what I do, especially if you haven't been through
Right.
the criminal justice system or you haven't been through the county jail. That doesn't mean that you are not qualified to help them.
Right.
But a lot of times that's the excuse they'll use to deflect from themselves.
Absolutely.
And I just think that the fact that you've been doing this for a total of what?
15
years? I mean, that's a lot of time to hear people's story that does not want to deal with their problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people they think that the problem is because of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that. I think the problem starts in the mirror. And once you take a look at that, then I think you're open for help.
I agree. I had a very good friend of mine who's also a therapist tell me when I was going through schools that you can learn all you want to be a therapist, and that's not going to mean a thing. It's 80% about building those relationships and rapport with people for them to open up with you.
Right.
And I think that's been my biggest asset, is that I can build those relationships with people pretty easily.
Yes.
And there's always, and I wanted to mention this too, there's one saying that I tell a lot of my adolescents that I work with, or adults that are going through treatment, is that you either live what you learn or you learn from what you live. And they just kind of look at me like, what are you talking about? But I said, if you really think about it, you know, if you live what you learn, you've just, kept doing the process, what your parents were doing.
Right.
But if you live from what you learn, or you learn from what you live, then you're learning a different way.
I think that's smart because that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And see, a lot of times when you're in recovery or you're trying to get to recovery, whether it's from alcohol or drugs, or I'm sure it probably applies to mental health as well, until you take a real look at the role you play, I just think that you really can't even go forward until you accept that.
I agree.
Yeah, I just think that's important because from personal experiences, people were telling me what I need to do. And this was coming from people that I believe in, like my parents who were both in heaven. They was telling me what I need to do, but I didn't want to hear it because I was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And I was smarter than everybody. So I that's how come I can relate to people that are in recovery. And I'm humble enough to admit my faults, and I think that helps me as well. And for those of you that wasn't tuned in last week, I'm giving myself a shout out because God blessed me to see last Tuesday to have 15 years clean and sober.
Woo! Congratulations.
Man, I remember when I couldn't get 15 minutes.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm still not cured by no stretch. I still have a long way to go, but I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very thankful. And it makes me humble when I say that. That's just for the people that are out there listening that are not sure if it can be done. I think that you should give it a shot.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, again, thank you. I'm going to thank you a couple more times before this show's over, but I just don't never want to take for granted what you do because, like I said, you only get credit when things don't go well.
Right.
People can find you when the things go bad.
Mm-hmm.
But when things are going good, you didn't have no part in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get credit for all the things that go bad.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing what you're doing and just know that people like me respect what you do. And it's encouraging for me to see that there are other people fighting the same fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I need you to keep doing that. I need to know what your future plans are.
Well, throughout this process, I have done a lot of self-work and just journey on and improving myself. And it's a daily basis. You work on yourself every day. I would
Right.
hope to. And I'm by far perfect. But besides continuing to work on myself, I'd like to really develop my private practice. I'm hoping to do that more full time in the next 5 years or so. I'd like to travel more. I'd like to actually speak out like you do at some point and tell my story. This was just a short snippet of it. So,
Well,
but
you
yeah.
shouldn't have never planted that seed because I got a good memory. I will remember that. And,
Perfect.
And like I said, sometimes it depends on the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I think, let's say, for example, if it was an all-female audience, I think the message would be well received from a female.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's easier, like I said, for people not to want to they want to discredit you before they give you credit, But what I'll tell you is this: keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, I got a witness. Ben's my witness. You have definitely planted the seed that you're interested in doing what I do.
Absolutely.
And I will keep that in mind because I think it's needed. I haven't heard any stories about liquor stores going out of business.
Mm.
I haven't heard anything about drugs becoming extinct.
No.
So, and technology is very important to our youth. So, and this vaping thing is very important. I don't understand the vape thing as well as I probably should, but something about it just fundamentally doesn't seem like it's healthy.
Right.
Now, I could be wrong. It might be, but I don't smoke, so I wouldn't know. But I did actually driving to the station tonight. I came up behind a car at a red light, and I guess they were vaping because they let out a large amount of smoke right before the light turned green, and I almost thought their car was on fire. I mean, it's like taking in that much smoke. I don't know. It's just common sense, I guess, tells me that this does not seem healthy. Do you have a lot of problem with vaping, though? You say you have a lot of...
With our younger generation, yeah.
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 And they got all kinds of different vapes.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
That right there kind of caught me off guard. I knew there was a chance for there to be marijuana and maybe meth, but I didn't know they had all these other options.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
So when they catch them, what do they do? I mean, if you guys find out somebody's vaping, is there anything y'all can really do?
Well, it really depends on where they're at.
Okay.
They're doing it within the school. We can, alert the school officials. But, we try to protect the student as much as possible. And my job is to really educate them and encourage them and be with them to get help.
Okay. Are they receptive?
Like I said, in the past, it's really about building that relationship and rapport.
Right.
And if you have a good relationship and rapport, you'd be pretty amazed of what adolescents will tell you.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know because I'm definitely going to be dealing with them in the future. So I want to make sure that I build relationships with them as well.
Absolutely.
Because I do that a lot as well when they reach out to me on social media. Hey, you spoke at our school. I didn't want to ask no question in front of all my friends. But
right.
This is what I'm dealing with. And I appreciate that because it lets me know that they were listening and they actually acknowledge if there's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Is there did you give us some information on how to reach out to you again?
No, I didn't.
Could you do that for me?
Yeah. Well, my private practice name is Mindful Self Counseling. My phone number that I can be reached at is 402-719-3919. I was going to say I need to get a hold of Ian from last week and have him set up a website for me, but I'm in the process of setting up a website and web address. So
Ian, you got some business, man. So, hey, you need to holler at me. I can hook you up.
yeah. So right now that's how they can get a hold of me.
Good. Well, you know what? Just keep doing what you do. And we're going to find a way to get some people out there to try to help you out a little bit. How about that?
That sounds great.
Okay. Well, hey, don't you guys go nowhere. We're going to take one more break. Then we're going to get out of here and get Ben something to eat. We'll be right back.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in June. Try any of their delicious breakfast burritos or sandwiches for a great summer breakfast with the family. And don't forget, 10% of all caramel latte sales in June go to the Casa for Lincoln County. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Okay, and we back. Ben!
Yo.
Man, any more comments, man?
Yeah, we got a couple more comments.
Okay, well, let me hear what you got.
Theola said, good topic.
Thank you, Theola.
And then Carla Walker asked, Korina, would you consider sharing your story to the population at the Nebraska Correctional Center for Women?
I would love to.
Boom! There you have it, Carla. See that? We making things happen around here. Ben, appreciate that. You know what? Let's give Ben one more quick shout out for being a trooper today.
Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, man. 7:30 till 9 o'clock. That's a pretty full day. And he's allergic to bringing food to eat.
I'm going to sleep good tonight.
Yeah, well, you better, because you're going to be back up here at 5:30. So you
That's
better
true.
be asleep quick.
Yeah, the early break crew needs me.
Hey, well, you know what? It's better to be needed than not needed. So
True.
That's a compliment.
True.
I got to ask my guest one more question. No, two more questions.
Okay.
The first one is this. When you first started this, did you really think you were going to be able to do it as long as you've been doing it?
That's a really good question. Because I've worked at different agencies. So with those different environments, things are a little different processes, different people. And so I really wondered, actually, to tell you the truth, when I started almost 15 years ago, I did it for about a year, had a really bad experience with an agency that I worked with, and I took about 6 months off because I was just like, I'm not sure. But then I met some people and I got involved in a nonprofit agency, a co-occurring nonprofit agency. Loved it. Loved the population I was working with. Did some other different counseling jobs on the side of that too. So coming back and working with the population of co-occurring and addiction, that type of thing, that brought the love back in it for me.
Gotcha.
And it was like, yeah, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be.
So this is a long-term thing for you.
It is, yeah.
That's cool. I mean, a lot of people get burnt out in this field.
They do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know you know that because it's easy to walk away from, especially when you're not being appreciated.
Right.
Yeah. So I can relate to that and I can respect that. Is there anything or anyone you want to give a special shout out to?
Just all of my kids. They've been my biggest support. They're the reasons why I do the things I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you like this. I just think it's amazing that you can fit in everything you need to fit in to do what you do and take on the private practice. That's a lot of responsibility. And then you somehow find time to get to a gym. I mean, I'm starting to wonder, do you sleep?
Probably not as much as I should, but I've taken a little time off the gym. I do go about 2 to 3 times a week. I used to go 5 to 6. So I'm trying to get back to that. That's one of my happy places, though, is the gym. That's kind of my place to just let go. Kind of
put the push the pause button on life.
Yeah, and just really focus on right here, right now. That's one of the big things I work with all my clients and myself. When I started to see how well it worked on my clients, you kind of learn through what you do. Is that every day, first thing in the morning, I just go sit outside and just be mindful. I take some time just to be right here, right now, and just really focus on what am I feeling? What am I thinking? How am I doing right now at this moment?
Well, you kind of partially answered my last question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
When you get some free time.
Yeah.
This show requires me to ask you, how do you get your happy on?
I love going to the gym. I love doing anything outside that makes me happy, spending time with family and friends, my grandbaby. They all just, that's my happy.
That's your happy. That's what's up. Well, again, I want to thank you for being my guest tonight. We got to wrap this show up because Ben's giving me that eye. And
what do you mean? What do you mean by that, Ricky?
I'm going to explain that here in just a second.
The hangry look.
Yeah.
Hangry look.
Yeah. Ben been here a little too long, so I wrap my show up the same way every week, and I want y'all to know every day you blessed to say it's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Go! And go and get Ben something to eat. Woo! We'll see y'all next week.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best